I thank the gentleman from Utah, and thank you, Ms. O'Connor. It's good to have you back. Good to see you again. In your testimony, you talked about when you got to the IRS on May of 2013, that all of Lois Lerner's emails were in this area to be redacted and worked on. Is that correct? That's what you.
They were still in the processing part where they were being flattened and decrypted, but they had been gathered already.
So they had all been gathered. Was there not anybody who looked and saw this huge hole between 2009 and 2011 and says, man, this is really strange that the email activity during this period, a lot of it disappeared? Was there anybody that looked at it like you would look, like Treasury would look at a counterfeit dollar and say, gosh, this is a fake? Was there not anybody that raised that concern?
So it wasn't brought to my attention.
Would you be mad about that since you were overseeing that? Wouldn't you be mad if somebody saw that and didn't bring it to your attention?
If somebody had seen it, I would have hoped that it would have been brought to my attention.
So you think that somebody didn't see it?
I have no reason to think that anybody saw it and didn't tell me about it.
So you would be
Mr.
mad.
Chairman, could I ask the witness please to speak into the microphone? Ms. O'Connor?
Oh, Ms. O'Connor, can you move it
Yes,
closer?
You could speak in it. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
So who is responsible for making sure that all the documents and materials are complete to submit to this committee or any other committee? Who is responsible to make sure that that body of work is complete?
I think it's probably the head of whichever agency has been asked for.
And so we just trust them to make sure that it's complete. So there's no real oversight within the IRS to make sure that what we get is complete.
I mean, within the IRS, we had a whole number of different layers of sort of quality checking to make sure that the materials that were being reviewed were appropriately redacted and were then produced.
But there was no, all those layers, there was really nobody that was there saying, well, we've got everything we need.
The thing that I think is challenging about the situation is that I believe that the people who collected all of Ms. Lerner's material most likely believed they had it all because they got successfully what was on her hard drive. I think the missing piece was not knowing that there had been a crash.
So when they looked at, and they were going back to 2009, they didn't see that there was a whole big hole of where all of a sudden the email volume picked up in June of 2011 when she got her new hard drive. They wouldn't have seen just this unbelievable anomaly of additional emails.
So nobody brought it to my attention, and
okay.
I didn't.
So let me go on a little bit further, because here's the bombshell in all of this. Every one of us have been counting on the TIGTA report for a chronological of who knows what when. Over 65% of what they reported were solely based on emails. So if we have a whole lot of emails that are missing, wouldn't that suggest that the whole TIGTA time frame is at best incomplete?
So one of the things that I think is important in this is that my understanding is what the IRS has done is provided all the emails.
But that's after the TIGTA report. During the TIGTA report, what they reported, because this is new since then, wouldn't you agree that at best it is incomplete? Yes or no? You're a smart person. I've dealt with you before. Yes or no, wouldn't you agree that it would be incomplete?
I can't answer, and I can tell you why. The reason why is because my understanding of the TIGTA report is that it was based on interviews, extensive interviews.
It was based on 30% interviews, 65%. I've read the TIGTA report more. It's put me to sleep a number of times. So in that, if most of it's based on emails, wouldn't you say that if you didn't have all the emails, that the TIGTA report might not be the full story? It's a real easy answer.
If there were a significant relevant email that was missing, then that might be true.
And so now we know that there are thousands of emails that they never got to see from Lois Lerner, and maybe several others.
I'm not sure that we know that there are thousands that we have.
All right. So let me go on very quickly to my good friend there with the National Archives, and I say that in a sincere fashion. Now that we found last night that not only is it Lois Lerner's hard drive, but it's a number of other people at the IRS. Do they call you on a regular basis to say, listen, we may have this problem? Have you gotten a number of notifications from those higher officials that have had hard drive issues?
Not to date.
Neither of you?
No.
So we have a Federal law that is being ignored by the IRS. I'll yield back.
Thank the gentleman. Now